inside the floor. Scoops it up. Booker brings the boom.
Oh, yes, it's the NBA Hardwood show here. Big T and JSU. We're back. We're late, but we're here, baby. And Malcolm Towers, you made me laugh. He said, I left my baby in the car for this. Malcolm, we appreciate you for watching the show, but man, I don't know if I can condone that, but I love that right there. It made me chuckle right before we were going on. I saw it and I started laughing and I was trying to hold myself in, but I just couldn't. But what's going on, everyone? See everyone in the chat. My guy, the Spaniard, Don Yeezy, Josh Lee. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the NBA Hardwood show. We're going to talk some hoops, some sports. Big T, I know you were on yesterday, so you got to talk about the football game a little bit. I had to, unfortunately, watch that game as well, where the Eagles got it done. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. Absolutely owned me. And he did something that I was stunned with, Big T. He pretty much won the game without Saquon doing shit. That was like the most impressive thing to me was Jalen Hurts pretty much doing it without Saquon doing really anything offensively to change the game at all. So he owned me. That was a friggin' dominating performance, and they deserve it. So good for the Eagles. Either way, I wasn't going to like the outcome too much, but I did bet the Chiefs, so had to take that one home. But yeah, it was over pretty early, so you kind of knew it going in. But Big T, I assume that was your kind of take on the whole game was you kind of knew early it was not.
I mean, you definitely knew early, and it was one of those ones. Someone sent me, I forget who sent it on Twitter, but they're like, "Is now the time?" Oh, Aguiar said, our boy Aguiar said, "It's about time for Big T's. Is it now's the time?" And I wrote back and said, "I don't think so, because it's not the time, baby. You got to know when to tap out. You got to know when to tap out on games." And that
did you tap out early? How early did you tap out?
I mean, I knew right away when he was running in circles and getting tackled in the backfield. I was like, "Yep, it's not."
That was like the fourth play of the game, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
for the Chiefs. That was literally
you knew quick, and then
play.
At that point, I was just rooting for them to score any points, just for my DFS purposes, just to get. And I did get lucky with Worthy just totally.
Hey, you had Worthy captain. You had Worthy captain on the show.
I made money because of it, which was good, but it was lucky. I'll admit when it's lucky, I got lucky.
I got lucky too, and the only reason was because I made that rule. Remember we talked about on the show, out of the 4 kickers, I wanted 2. Yeah. So most of my teams had 2, and the winning DFS lineup had the kicker and the defense. It just happened to be the Eagles.
Crushed.
And they both crushed. Yeah, exactly.
That's what we were saying yesterday on the show too. It's like, that's what I love about Showdown though. So the winning team for $100,000 was the simplest team ever. Both quarterbacks, a good receiver, and then a kicker and a defense. Like,
it was exactly what we talked about, though. I literally said, if your worst player, and you say this all the time on Showdown shows, if your worst player is a kicker or defense, that's fine.
You got a chance.
I love that. Yeah.
And you still got, I mean, they had both quarterbacks, which again, Mahomes got lucky. I'm not saying he didn't get lucky. He got very lucky, but he ended up in the winner, and it was Worthy both. I mean, it was a good build.
What's crazy though is when I was building, it was the completely opposite script of what I was even thinking in my head. Eagles blowout and stuff like that. I didn't build in my head. I wasn't going for Eagles blowout, but when you make that rule, it just gives you some of those better teams. So that's why, and I didn't 150. I played I think 30 entries in the millie or something like that. But still, it was you made that rule where I want 2 of those 4. And so I got lucky and got some combos with the defense and the kicker to save myself. Cause I obviously didn't have the nut, but it saved me from losing every dollar. So that was obviously nice.
One of my main teams was literally the nuts, but I had Hollywood Brown instead of the Eagles D was the difference. So if I had your rule, that team might have because I only used one for my rule. I didn't use two. So if I had that rule, I could have had it. It was one off. But I mean, I know I got lucky, but it just shows you. That's why Showdown's a good format. And yeah, we got lucky. Mahomes should not have been on the winner. I mean, he did not.
And then I don't know if you saw it. So DraftKings was doing that like those bonus bet things where you put the hashtag let DK cook, and they were giving like
one?
No, I didn't get one. But so I posted my bet slip on Twitter, right? I don't know if you saw my bet slip. Everything hit but the Mahomes rushing attempt. It was $100 K.
What did he finish with rushing attempt wise?
He had 4 because 2 of them got called back on holdings, and they didn't possess the ball. Big T. It was 3 and out constantly. Like,
I mean, if that wasn't prop. So did he hit his? Because I had the alts for his passing. Did he hit his passing with all that scrub time?
He might have just hit his. What was his 253? What was his passing?
270s he got into. I didn't know what the original number was though, because I only bet the alts.
So I think he got his original number, but I don't think.
Crazy.
I think
and the over. I had the over and got lucky. I should have never got the over. I was trying to figure out how I won money though, and I think it's because I was way under on Saquon too, which once Worthy and Mahomes got there, Saquon.
Oh, did you you profited money? You
somehow, and I felt bad too because honestly, I did this fundraiser for Grayson's team. Like I don't know if you saw it. Like Bobby Jones and some people helped out and sent some, but so I put one.
I mean, I expect a personal text if you want anything. So
I hate asking for stuff like that, but so I put one team in the 1,500 and one team in the 333 for like the fundraiser, and then I sent it out to the people, and they got their percentage and whatever. And it was like my only team of the ones that didn't do good because it was. So I felt bad because I won money, but I lost on the fundraiser part. So I felt bad about it. I felt the pressure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, next time, just tell me. I'll put a team in for him too, and I'll give him it. Like, you know,
it was for the whole. It wasn't just for him. It was for the like. I had all the parents send it out on Facebook, like because everybody does the square pools where like
I got you.
Half goes to the team, half goes to the person. So I just did it for fantasy for the whole teams, and then they all.
That's a cool idea. That's
it was
a really
fun.
Cool
Everyone
idea.
liked it until we did it win. Then we finished after the Worthy touchdown, like right on the bubble too. Was the annoying part.
Yeah, that's a good idea though. That's definitely a good
people
idea.
Like in all honesty, even though it didn't work out this time, people did have fun with it.
That has to be way more exciting than squares. Yeah. And listen, my father loves squares. Every year he does squares.
People love squares.
Every year he loses, but he loves it. He loves it.
That's one thing I hate. Like I hate the squares. I hate them. I don't know why. I just don't enjoy them.
But it's funny because like when you listen to him and my brother, I was watching the game with them, and they're like, okay, how do we get here?
I got 19 different squares. Like, how am I going to get this number and that?
Yeah,
number?
It's like, how do I get the 2 and the 1? And this team's got to get the 2, and this team's got. And I'm just like, man, you guys are going through like the whole scenarios there, and then
I can picture them doing that too. Like, I can picture how it happened.
Oh, they love it. It's Anthony too, my little brother. So it's him and my dad who love it, and they just go back and forth.
There's a lot of people that like those. I mean, if you're on Facebook, like everybody does those for fundraisers now. Every team and every everybody. That's what gave me the idea to do something different because everyone does those. Like everyone.
Yeah. Even my wife, she was in Florida visiting her parents, and like so she can bet on DK. Not that she bets a lot. She bets like just for the Super Bowl. Yeah, just for the Super Bowl. She'll put some money on it just for fun, little $5, $10, $20. But she's like, "Oh, I can't bet because I'm in Florida. I can't." And I was like, "Yeah, you can't." So she did squares, like with her like they did squares. I was like, "Yeah, there you go."
That's the one thing I just hate. Like people laugh at me because we obviously gamble every day. I just never get in. I just don't like them. I don't enjoy it. I don't like looking for my numbers.
I'm the same way. And people ask me all the time, it's like, why don't you do this? And I'm like, because I do it every day. Like it's not. I get it. Like
fun. Like I like rooting on players. I don't like rooting on like numbers, and I just don't like it.
No, but you do that Royal Rumble thing, which is very similar, like where you just get a random.
Honestly, I don't do it like I do that because people people won't believe that, but I don't do that just for myself. Like people enjoy it. I just do it because they like it. I don't mind it, but I don't love it.
Yeah, whatever. I in my head though, it's the exact same thing. It's
very same thing for sure. Yeah.
You just get drawn a number or a player. So
Well, you have a player though. You're not rooting for like this guy to get like if this guy had
that's
to get
true.
eliminated by this guy or whatever the scenario. But it is the same thing for sure.
That's true. You are at least rooting on like a single player like fantasy. So
It's dumb
right.
too, though. I agree about that.
Yeah. Whatever. If people like it, yeah, you know, you keep
People
doing
love
it
that
people.
Royal Rumble Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, we filled 3 of those things.
That's crazy. That's friggin' nuts. Not for me though. Anything else here? What about did you watch Luca last night?
Of course I watched.
That was one thing
excited.
I wanted to talk about. I thought in all my years of watching hoops, that was the weirdest first game New Jersey for a player I'd ever seen in my lifetime. I'm trying to think like who was someone like I was watching the game and I was still struggling to like picture him with I'm like, this isn't real. Like he's not on this team. Like I couldn't believe it the whole time I'm watching. I'm like, it's still
In
not
his
real.
prime for sure. There's been a ton of like older guys, like Montana with the Chiefs, Karl Malone with the Lakers. Like Karl Malone with the Lakers is weird.
He was 25. He's 25.
Yeah,
like
in the peak for sure.
Maybe LeBron to the Heat.
I mean, that wasn't weird though, just because he was young and he went. He didn't. If he got traded, then yeah, that would have been. It was it wasn't weird just because he went.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a bunch of guys in there later.
Shaq was old. Shaq was old, but yeah, I mean,
in Phoenix, Shaq played for like 10 different teams after he fell off the cliff.
Yeah, that's true. Shaq played for a few different teams, but I was just trying to think of someone.
They signed Alex Len today too. Who needs our boy from Charlotte when you can have Alex Len?
They did not sign Alex Len.
That's what it popped up in Discord when we were coming on.
Oh my God. You want to know a terrible fit for the Lakers? Alex Len. Terrible fit for the Lakers. Awful fit for Luka.
Terrible fit for every team, actually.
But he is a terrible fit with Luka and LeBron James. Dude, they want to throw lobs. They want to throw it up to somebody. They don't want Alex freaking Len. All right? He's going to jump up. He's going to catch it. He's going to bring his feet back down, and then he's going to try and lay it in. Like, they don't want that. They want another, like, Jackson Hayes type, at least be able to throw it up to him. Which, by the way, Jackson Hayes, nice, easy 10 points. I threw it out in Discord for the Luka 77% profit boost. But that man's going to get some games where he scores a good amount because he's going to get some wide open dunks, like wide open. Some of the plays they were running were just leaving him with easy lobs, Tony. Like just so if they don't,
people realize how good the Lakers are going to be with Luka. Like I don't think people have figured it out yet. they are going to be nasty with those guys passing the way they do. Some of those passes where Luka's in slow motion, he does the Jokic pass almost where he's looking this way and he like looks 3 ways and he hits the guy wide open.
Yeah.
Like it's just
you mean like when he drives into the middle of the lane and he's
slow motion too.
Yeah, and he slows everything down and then like at the last second just like changes where he's going. But everyone's looking at his like the hands, Tony, and the eyes are in a different direction. So it's like if you look at his hands, his eyes could be looking another way, and then all of a sudden his hands just flip, or they're looking at his eyes, and then his hands go the opposite way. It's just
there's
wild.
Either a wide open shot or a dunk every time. And now you got two of the smartest, best passers in the league, and Reeves is awesome. So I mean, they're not going to defend, but they're awesome.
By the way, does it feel like to you that LeBron and Reeves kind of like up their performance now? It's like,
they
Luka's
definitely
here.
have.
Like,
I mean,
yo,
they got
Luka's
Luka
here.
for free. They got rid of AD's sorry ass, and they brought Luka. Wouldn't that rejuvenate you?
I mean, it looked like
they didn't hate AD.
I watched Austin Reeves. I watched Austin Reeves last night. The game was over pretty much. He crosses up Jordan Clarkson. He gets into that like free throw lane, like corner, and he takes like a jump shot fading forward off the glass as he's getting fouled and falls down. And I'm just like, yeah, that's like some shit Luka would do. Like he was just like, yeah, it's cool.
And he's the number 3. Like he's good.
He's a great
DFS is a top defender. I know they're going to struggle as a big, and they won't be able to beat the Nuggets, but they can beat anyone else.
This is the thing with the Lakers. They just need the right path. That's the thing with the Lakers. the right path, they can ease. If you told me the teams that they had to face one by one, and they got to miss the one or two teams that I think they'd have big issues with, they could easily make it to the
have
final.
issues with besides the Nuggets.
The only other team is the team with the size, the Mavs.
Yeah, and they're Luka and losing to the Mavs.
But I'm saying that's the
Mavs. God, you love the Mavs.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying that's the only team they would struggle with. They would struggle with AD and they would struggle with Jokic. Think about it, Tony. Who's the other big that you would be like, oh shit, they're gonna?
I mean, I wouldn't be scared of anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. I just that's the truth.
And the chances are they don't see. They somehow always do draw the Nuggets somehow, which is unlucky. But they can't draw them every year.
So the Nuggets are the 3 seed right now. The Lakers are the 4. So right now, the way if all the favorites won, Tony, right? Like they would avoid the Nuggets till the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they match up good with OKC. I mean, decent enough.
I'll tell you right now, I would pick them over OKC. I'd pick them over Memphis, Houston.
Memphis and Houston aren't actual contenders, though.
But they're up there, Tony. So you have to pick them. You know what I like? You have
if the Lakers somehow get that path, they're gonna roll.
I pick them over the Clippers. I'm trying to think of teams I wouldn't pick them over.
I mean, there's only 3 real teams in the West. I mean, Golden State can sneak in there now, maybe.
Who's the 3 real teams?
I mean, the Lakers, the Nuggets, and the OKC.
Okay. So you don't think a fully healthy Mavericks team could beat any of those teams?
Suck. Are they going to play 3 bigs? I mean, how are you going to win with triple bigs?
Yeah, but PJ, first of all, Daniel Gafford got hurt. I don't know how hurt he is.
They're all hurt. The Mavs are done. They're out of my mind. They're
they
done.
might just like literally have the worst luck ever
They
with
traded
injuries.
They traded Luka. They deserve the worst luck. Like they're. I mean, it's cool. They're kicking fans out for sign. I mean, they're a disaster. Dirk's at the Lakers game. I mean, they're a disaster.
I'll say this. I don't think people will like this, but I think Minnesota could give OKC problems. I think Minnesota could give.
The problem with Minnesota can definitely beat Denver. We know that.
Denver. So I think if I'm Minnesota, I wouldn't want to see the Lakers actually. Like the Lakers, because Rudy Gobert.
Great with Minnesota.
Yeah, because Rudy Gobert would get cooked in that series. So it would.
LeBron and Luka aren't going to be bothered by their size either. Like they're just going to do what they do.
Yeah, not at all. So that's the thing. I think the best hope would be Minnesota plays Denver early and somehow beats them in a series.
For who? I don't want to see that.
For the Lakers.
Be annoyed when they play again.
For the Lakers, I'm saying the best hope for the Lakers. Because if the Lakers face Jokic, that's like the kryptonite right there. Because they have.
I don't know how would they even begin to guard Jokic? It would be just game set.
They're gonna put DFS on him, bro. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna
have to. Like it's gonna be embarrassing.
I'm just telling you, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna put DFS on them. So
they're so unlucky if they draw them again. I
actually agree with this being there. Max Christie actually is really good. He is really good.
Did you see Clay's quote? How he always thought it was Doug Christie's son, like we did.
Bro, wait a second. I'm not gonna lie. I thought when he came in the league, he was
on the show that one day that we thought that. I just love that he said it.
Clay's a real one, bro. Clay's just like the one of us gift. Like Clay is one of us. Like that's 100%.
He said I couldn't believe it when I asked him.
You think that I bet you 90% of the league thought he was Doug Christie's son. Like easily, 100%. But yeah, that was kind of funny when they asked him about that. What about the Mavs kicking out the fans, Tony?
I mean, they're a disaster right now.
That's bad too. You start kicking out people that are paying their hard-earned money to go watch this team play after you just traded. A generational talent.
I just can't believe it. Like I just. Did they just think no one was going to care?
No, I think this is the plan. I think the plan is
totally lose the fan base and then
lose the fan base and then move. Yeah, that's what I think is and nothing else makes sense to me. I'm sorry.
Well, What's going to happen when the Lakers do somehow just go and Luka's amazing and LeBron's amazing and they win a title somehow? Like, Dallas fans are going to literally bridge jump. I mean, they're going to like hate it. Or are they just going to root for the Lakers?
I'm telling Luka is amazing. He's going to make a run. And the only thing that's going to get in their way is Jokic and the Celtics. Those are the two things.
At least the Celtics, they at least can match up a little bit with them because they don't have like a bigs either. I'm not saying they beat them, but they can at least like match up with them.
No, and the way Boston plays too, they're super streaky. So like they could have a couple bad games in a row. That's the thing with the Celtics. Like the Celtics in a series, they can just have bad. I watch it all the time with Tatum. Like Tatum will just have stretches where he does nothing, and then he'll have stretches where he is amazing. Like absolutely amazing. Go watch.
No one's guaranteed health either. There's no guaranteed health.
But go watch last night. They played the Heat. Tatum in the first half versus Tatum in the second half. They were completely different players. They were literally completely different.
He's just not the top level to me. I know a lot of people think he's just not to me. I know he's good. He's awesome. He's just not top tier to me.
Wait a second. What?
I mean, he's top tier. I don't know what I'm like ranking him at. Like,
yeah,
like
what's?
I'm not putting him on the same as even like Ant. I'm putting all those guys above him.
Well, that's my question. So, what is top tier? Are we talking like top 10,
like
top,
go team by team,
top 5? No, but like top 10, top 5. Like, what is top tier?
Like, I don't think I'd put him top 10, but I'd have to actually look. Definitely not top 5. Like, I wouldn't even consider
put him top 10.
I mean, you're like, I'd have to look at the names, like,
bro, come on. All right, hold on. Let's go
even right now. And again, I'm not talking for the right now. I wouldn't even take him over like LeBron. I'm not talking anything but this year. Like, if you told me right now for this year only, I could have Tatum or LeBron on the Lakers, I would definitely take LeBron.
Oh no. I don't know about that.
Got 5 is like there's just no way. Like right there, like Derek, SGA, Ant, Jokic, Luka. I mean, I agree with that pretty much.
That's okay. That's 5. Okay, fine. And if you want to keep LeBron in there, that's fine.
Like, where's the plus minus?
What top 10 is criminal? If he's not in your top 10,
just because again, I'm not like picturing the names.
Because like I'm not hating on this.
Giannis, Giannis. There's no way he's better than Giannis.
Yeah, I'm taking. Yeah, okay, fine. Take.
Yeah, Giannis. I mean, 10's probably right. Looking at
even though at the end of the game,
Wemby. I mean, you're not taking him over Wemby. So
I'll
now
tell
we're
you right
7.
now. At the end of the game, I rather Tatum with the ball than Giannis, hands down. Not even close.
Tatum for Giannis.
At the end of a game, yes, I
Mean,
am.
now we're cutting we're narrowing it down to the end of a game too. We're talking the rest of the season.
All right, fine, but that's Giannis. That's 6. I would assume you take
7. Well, Giannis and who else? Wemby. You're not taking him over Wemby.
Well, I don't think you take almost anyone over Wemby unless you're taking like Ant or SGA.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's 7.
Yeah, I mean a bunch.
I think he's 9 or 10. That's fair. I think he's 9 or 10.
And that goes for. I agree with you. He's probably 8, 9, 10. But I would still, just personally, I would still rather have other guys on my team. Like even like Jalen Brunson, I like better.
You know why though?
He
takes those shots that piss you off though. That's why he takes really bad shots.
Like I just don't love his game. Like how he's good. He makes more than he should. Even like
but you know what's funny? Didn't you love Carmelo as a player?
But I don't think they're like the same. Like I just don't. And I started to hate Melo more too once he was all mid. I loved early Nuggets Melo where he like bullied people in the post. Tatum doesn't bully anyone in the post.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's fair.
I didn't like Melo when he was shooting 18-foot twos.
Yeah. No, Zion, get out of here. No one's taking Zion over
I'm not taking Zion over him.
Bro, no way.
There's a long list of people that I'd rather play.
I'm not even taking Steph Curry. At this point in his career, I'm not taking Steph Curry over Tatum. There's no way you are. Steph's still great, but I'm not. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Maxi's a beast.
Like Maxi's not a better player, but I just like him better. I'd rather have him on my team.
Well, Maxi's like funner, right, Big T? He's like a fun.
Him and Brunson I like better, even though they're not better players.
I like Maxi over, like me personally, my style. I like Maxi's game over Brunson's, but like Brunson might be better. It's just
Cade Cunningham, like I like him better.
Cade's
There's a lot
fun.
of guys I like better that probably aren't better.
Cade's having a year though right now. This year, Cade has been.
I mean, for the future, I mean, Cade would be way up the list.
I mean, he's making Detroit like, I don't want to say relevant, like they're gonna win anything,
good.
but like
they're gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're solid. Like he's made them a solid basketball team, a terrible franchise in Detroit. He's made them to a solid team, and they got a good amount of veterans around that team too. So, yeah, it's interesting. I don't think I'm taking LaMelo over him. LaMelo can't stay healthy.
Not LaMelo over him. I hate LaMelo's game.
Yeah, and LaMelo's nasty, but he just can't stay healthy. He is
not my style at all either. Like he is not a like winning player.
No,
I hate his style. He's fun. Like he's a good bad team player for sure.
Hey Reed, give me Andre Iguodala. Who was that dude? Was it ESPN who said that? He's like, give me Iguodala in the finals or something like that. Who was the guy? Do you remember that guy?
He gives me nightmares. That dude's good. Report that. Look at Jason. USAD. I wish they did. We'll take it. We'll take the $700K.
Don't say that on a live show, Tony. You're gonna get us in trouble right now. Damn it! Don't at Run Pure Sports at Big T44 DFS with all your complaints, please.
This is one guy that I agree with JSU. Now I hate Booker. I hate him worse than Tatum.
That one I never understood because I know he's a player that you hate inside. So I never understood
jump
the
shooters.
love.
I do hate jump shooters.
Yeah, like I never.
How big of a wagon are my Nuggets right now though? Like Jokic never gets to play the fourth quarter.
That was it, Brett. Keller, Max.
I don't even know who that is.
Max Keller or whatever his name is. Kellerman, whatever his name is.
I don't even know who that is.
He was on ESPN. You don't remember him?
No.
I think he was on with was it Skip and those guys a while back? I don't know. I don't know, but he had some really bad. Yeah, that show. Did you ever watch that show?
Before Shannon or whatever?
Yes, with Stephen A. That's what it was. He was with Stephen A. So maybe before Shannon. Yeah. God, he had some bad takes. Give me Iguodala. They were like, who do you want taking the last shot in the finals? That's what it was. It was like, who do you want taking the last shot in the finals?
Over who? Like, Curry?
Like over who just like
just over anybody?
Yeah, like open end. Like, who do you want to take? He's like, give me Iguodala.
Was it the year he won the MVP?
I can't. It might have been the year after. Like, I can't. And that might have been the reasoning behind it. Like,
even though it had nothing to do with offense.
Nothing to do with offense, but he doesn't know that.
He's on defense, though.
These guys don't actually watch hoops. They just, they skim the scores and stuff. They see it, but that was great. That one still makes me laugh to this day. Big T, send it to you in Discord.
Oh, yeah, I see this dude's mug now. I remember him.
Yeah, see, you remember him now.
Yeah, I didn't remember the name, but I remember the face.
He's a boxing analyst? Oh, turned NBA talent. Okay, yeah. That's right. Yes, WKJ. Yeah. All right. Anything else here, Tony, before we get to the 4-gamer?
No, I was trying to get Jokic out of you because you always make fun of me, but literally, you make fun of me for being a blowhard.
So what do you want me to say about Jokic?
He never gets to play the fourth quarter because they're up 25 every single night.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because I didn't bring up the Nuggets, because we have to talk about them every time.
You don't like the Nuggets like me. How good do they look? They just pound people.
So what's funny about the Nuggets is I actually like some, like I love their young pieces. Like I love Christian Braun. I love good. I love Peyton Watson. I think Strother's solid. I think that Jalen Pickett kid's actually pretty good too. The backup guard. He's a little undersized, but like, man, I like some of their youth. MPJ, I think he's happy he didn't get traded. Like, I think he's like, he came out of a trade deadline like Fuck yeah, and he's been putting up big
They
numbers.
just don't have guys every night too. Like he missed the last 2 games. Westbrook's missed the last 4 games. Watson's missed the last couple games, and they still just pound teams.
Yeah, MPJ missed last game. Murray missed like 2 games ago.
MPJ missed the last 2 games, and Westbrook and Watson.
Was it 2? Okay.
I know, but one team I don't watch as much NBA as I used to, but I watch every Nuggets game, obviously, because I'm a blowhard, and the kids like watching it. The kids like watching Jokic, so we always watch it.
Oh, shocker! The kids like watching. I wonder why the kids like watching
it though. I know I'm a blower. He plays perfect basketball,
bro. Let me tell you, okay? I don't have kids. But I can tell you right now, if I was just constantly watching Allen Iverson every night, just reruns of Allen Iverson, and my son was sitting right next to me, he would love Allen Iverson. He'd be saying, Dad, let's watch the Allen Iverson versus the Lakers in 2000 or what, 2001, whatever that series was. Let's watch it. I want to watch him step over Ty Lue after he hits the shot.
The Eagles.
Yeah. K. Reed's son will be watching. He won't be watching Sixers film, so he'll be watching Eagles film for the next few years.
His kid would love Muggsy Bogues.
He would love Muggsy. I love Muggsy. Why wouldn't you love Muggsy? Dude, we would watch old school Brandon Roy, old school Allen Iverson, Muggsy Bones.
Joseph, come on. Draymond Clamp Jokic win.
Yeah.
6 years ago?
Get him, Joseph. Get him.
6 years ago? What?
Yes, I love that. Yeah, Draymond owned Jokic 6 years ago. Yo, I heard Yusuf Nurkic used to get the better of Jokic back in the day. That's
Nurkic, in all seriousness, Nurkic still gives him some problem. What happened to Nurkic? Why did he just not play last night? I was talking him up on the show.
They just decided he wasn't going to play. They just held him out for some reason.
Why'd they trade for him? Like, I don't understand. Like, why? I don't get some stuff.
I think it was just to make that deal work with I forget what the deal was exactly.
Cut him and let him go to the Lakers.
Who knows? Maybe he will get bought out.
If the Lakers got him, that would be interesting for Jokic.
It'd be good for the Jokic thing, even though I think now Jokic owns him.
Yeah, of course he's gonna own him, but still.
My issue is that I was so excited for Mark Williams and Luka pairing, and we're not going to get it, even though I'm praying that something happens and the Hornets win the
problem is the Lakers didn't want it, though. That's the issue.
Well, no, the problem is he must have failed his physical.
The Lakers' physical.
That's what I'm saying. He must have failed the Lakers.
Their decision. They could have said, no, we still want, just ignore that or whatever. It's not an independent doctor.
Of course they could say that, but I'm saying
there's no way it gets overturned if their doctor said that. I hope so. I would love it too. It's annoying.
They said, I read something saying the Hornets are trying to dispute it or whatever.
I saw it. I don't know how an independent person could go in and be like, the Lakers doctor was wrong or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know either. It definitely seems like, something was off probably with his medicals or whatever, maybe his back, his knees, whatever it was. But
he's injury prone too, so who knows?
It sucks though, because if you ask me, JSU, who is the perfect person to pair with Luka, I would literally say Mark Williams. I would literally pick him outside of Wemby. I would literally say Mark Williams.
Outside of the guys that you couldn't get.
Yeah, exactly. Give me outside of Giannis and Wemby, give me friggin' Mark Williams. And Lob City, the Lakers are now Lob City. They took it from the Clippers, and the Clippers are no longer Lob City. It's the Lakers. They're Lob City. But, yeah, it sucks. Whatever. What can you do? I can hope, though.
They're going to have to settle with just getting Luka for the trade deadline. They're going to have to make do.
Yeah. It sucks when you're looking at it and you're like, man, it sucks that we only got Luka.
I mean, you're right, though. The Lakers, even before that, they look like a different team because that shows you how much those guys hated AD. They have come out on a different level.
Funny story. So my grandmother actually loved that the Knicks team or whatever. So she loved all that shit. So yeah, I watched a lot of those series and stuff like that. But I don't know why she loved the Knicks so much. I never understood that. My grandma, it was the weirdest thing ever. She loved the Knicks. I still don't understand that to this day, but whatever. Yeah, I'm a big John Starks guy.
Maybe they want her a little something.
Yeah, maybe. You never know. You never know. She only spoke Italian, so I only understood probably 40% of what she said. So I only understood the swear words really, and when she was angry at me.
Imagine that. That's where you got it from. Do I have to blame Grandma?
She said it in Italian. She said it in Italian, though. When do you hear me say swear words in Italian?
I mean, and it doesn't have to be in Italian.
Well, I'm just saying. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not blaming it on Grandma. She was great. All right. Let's get to the hoop stock here. I'm not going to do the Mangone thing where I just throw off injury news left and right here, Tony. We'll just go through the games and we'll naturally hit the few guys that are questionable. Luckily, it's only 4 games, so we don't have 10,000 people.
Did you hear what Mangone did yesterday? Were you watching it when this dude read off 79 straight injuries to start the show?
Did you hear me say I'm not going to do the Mangone thing where I just read off all the injuries?
Did you listen though? I mean, it was unbelievable that he read all that.
Yeah, I saw you. Remember I said Big T needs to go get an apple juice? I was saying that because you looked like you were about to fall asleep and you need to get some
everyone
energy.
Was ready to fall asleep. He was reading every injury in the world. There's no way a single person stayed engaged. You remember in school, when you had 25 minutes left in class and the teacher's up there just reading and you're like, oh my God, the clock's not moving. The clock is still staying. Oh my God.
Yes. No, I used to count in my head instead of look at the clock because the clock would just tilt me how slow it would go. So I just count in my head. It wouldn't be a match, but in my head it was faster. So I just count. Oh God, I could see it. Show some leadership, Boss T. I don't know what that's referring to, but yeah, show some leadership, Boss T. I agree with Haggy B.
Maybe that's why you don't know Brogdon. I didn't know Brogdon was on the Wizards. I'll admit it. I'll admit it.
That was actually funny because he's been on that team the whole year, and it just shows though that some guys you don't even care to know.
I would never consider him, but I don't know who. Once I thought about it though, I was trying to think because I knew he wasn't on Portland still, so I don't know who I thought he was on, but I definitely didn't think he was on Washington.
Well, it's funny because I would have assumed you thought he was on Portland this whole time.
I thought he got traded, but in my head, it was to Indiana or I don't know where I thought he was. I didn't think he was in Washington's all that mattered.
He's another guy, injuries just ruined his career. And the Celtics
Boston
knew it
get
too.
That lucky too, though. They got rid of Smart and friggin' Brogdon.
The Celtics, for some reason, they know before that, they just know when it's time. They just get so lucky.
They look, though? You get Derek White and Drew Holiday for Brogdon and Smart.
Brad Stevens, man. Smart.
And Brad Stevens goes from having to coach every day to GM and gets all the roses.
And has the best team in basketball.
Yeah.
Right. Literally the best. And he's set up to have a great team for years. It's just crazy how good Boston. And they get Porzingis. They literally just get all these gifts. They've run so pure. But all right, let's go to the hoop stock here. First game on the slate, Toronto Raptors, Philadelphia 76ers. The one piece of big news here is Joel Embiid is questionable. So we have to wait on that. Outside of him, there's a few guys already ruled out. Podol, Barrett, Ingram out. On the other side, Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon out. So a little bit there. But really, Tony, it's just the Embiid news we're kind of waiting on. If he's out, Yabusele 6K. So I don't think it makes him a lock or anything like that. I think it might put him in play on a 4-game slate. But if he's out, I don't see him as a lock. It would just make the other good players, the Maxis, the Paul George, the Kelly Oubres, I think it makes them better players or plays on this slate. But outside of that, I don't really see a ton else from the Philly side outside of maybe one hidden gem, but I'll get to that in a sec. What do you see here?
Yeah, it's an interesting slate just because you got a few of the defenses I like to target, but you also have some ugly spots as far as what I wouldn't consider guys I love to play in those spots, just the certain teams like Embiid. Obviously, I never like to play Embiid, but man, I think he likes these soft spots. Like I think he probably plays, honestly. Granted, he could sit at any point, but it's easy for me if he's out. Let me phrase it that way. I hope he's out because I don't want him to be in there to where I have to think about playing him. If he's out, I think it's easy. I want to play these Philly guys because Toronto plays no defense. They're at home. Everything about this spot is really good. So I hope he's out. And I hate Paul George too. It's one of the reasons I hate Philly, but I think these guys are definitely in play if he's out. So that part's easy. If he's in, though, is where it gets complicated just because you got it full strength finally, and the prices are priced like someone's out, at least in my opinion. I mean, Maxey almost 10K, Embiid 10K, Paul George where he needs to be, Oubre high, Yabu high, even Quentin Grimes in there now. They all feel pretty fairly priced. But the matchup is so good. I mean, they're going to score 120 points plus. They're going to get easy buckets. I love targeting Toronto. It's the one team all year I've targeted, and it always works because they play no defense. So we got to wait for the news. Honestly, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Philly if he's in. I still think I need to play some of these guys, but the prices are tough. So not sure there. And then the Toronto side, I don't know. At Philly, again, it's going to come down a lot if Embiid's in. If he's out, I think Toronto's a lot better plays too. Even though I don't like Embiid, their defense is way worse without him in there, obviously. And some of these guys become pretty good plays. Like Quickly, I think he's a pretty good play even if Embiid's in. But I really think he's a good play if Embiid's out just because the game should, in theory, stay a little closer. I think he's in a pretty good spot anyways, and his price is cheaper than it was. He's down to what, 6,100. I like Scotty Barnes a little bit too, but Barnes even more so if Embiid's out. So again, get in the Rump Your Discord, look at our content closer to locks, late builder, stuff like that. Because I'm glad it's the first game though, so we should get the news somewhat early for this game, maybe even while we're still on the show, knowing how long we go. But I got to wait to see. I'm definitely going to like it way, way more, though, if Embiid's out.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's definitely the biggest piece of injury news that we're waiting on is Joel Embiid. So, at least on this slate. But
Broccoli said he strained the old
he strained his taint.
tricky injury.
That's a good one right there. Yeah, Embiid's a puss. We know that. He's going to get hurt. He already said he's going to need like some surgery after the season for his knee again. Who the heck knows with him? But yeah, I agree with you. If he's in, he does seem like a pretty good play. It's a very good matchup. And Embiid, like you said, he loves playing the soft matchups. Because here's the thing too, Tony. This is the one thing. So every team in the NBA plays tomorrow. So this is they have to play tomorrow. So
why did they do that, by the way, when there's still games Thursday? I could see if it was the last day, but there's still games Thursday.
I don't understand it either. I don't understand why today's a 4-game slate. Tomorrow's got 15, and then the next day's got 5 or whatever. And you're like, why can't Tuesday and Thursday have 7?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why does everyone have to play on Wednesday? And then what's that? 8 to 10 teams have like back-to-back, or well, I don't. Yeah, at least 8
tonight. I assume what? There's 4 games tonight and 5
8 teams, and then 5 tomorrow. So that's 18 teams have to have
almost everybody's got, or close to everybody has a back-to-back one way or the other.
Well, over half the league. Yeah, over half the league has to do a back-to-back in the next couple of days before this. Yeah, it's just stupid. I don't really get it. But yeah, if he's in, he's gonna smash. They don't really have anyone to match up with them. I mean, Mogba, he's not going to be able to match up with Embiid. I wouldn't be stunned if they played Robinson a little bit more, actually. If Embiid's in, I could see them playing Orlando Robinson a little bit more. He's at least physically a bigger guy that, could maybe bang with Embiid a little bit. So maybe the other guy I think is super sneaky is this Jared Butler, He's not going to project well, but I think Eric Gordon and Kyle Lowry being out might give him a few extra minutes. He got 11 minutes last game against Milwaukee. He's a good player to me too. Like, I think he's a pretty solid player, and kind of reminds me of the Jared Goodwin kid that the Lakers picked up, who's been playing really good with the Lakers recently. Smash last night. He's kind of, in my opinion, like similar type to him. And I just think he's good. Now, he might not play at all. This is one of those plays where, like, if you want like a low-owned play that no one's going to be on, I think he's someone you can keep in the pool. Jared, what was it? Paul George has, been playing like 30-ish minutes. The guys they stretch the minutes for are really just Maxey and Kelly Oubre. So, Quentin Grimes.
The problem with Butler, I love Butler. I love Butler in college. He won a championship. He was awesome in that Baylor team. He's not going to play with Maxey, though, is he? He's just going to play behind Maxey, right?
He could get a few minutes with Maxey. I wouldn't be. Like, I think he played a few minutes just a few minutes last game with him on the floor.
Yeah,
there's only like a couple.
I like him as a player. Honestly, I think my biggest night at NBA this year, I had him on my team when he played wherever he played before this. Washington or somewhere.
Washington? I
can't make any statements after yesterday because I got made fun of.
I think it was Washington. Yeah, I think it was Washington. Because you know why? Every time he would get a chance with Washington, I'd watch him and I'd go.
He played for Utah too, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Washington. Because every time I watched him, I would say to myself, like, why doesn't this guy play more?
He's good.
I don't get it. I don't get how Washington's got better players than, like, not giving this guy even like 15 minutes a night. Like, give him Malcolm Brogdon's like 20 minutes. Yeah. Why does Malcolm Brogdon playing matter if you're Washington?
I agree with you though that there's no guards, which is spots I like. I mean, they don't.
And he's 3,100. Like, worst case scenario.
Just looking at the bodies though, like you got obviously it all changes too if Embiid's out. I know he's a center, but that's one less dude. I mean, you got Embiid and Drummond. You got Edwards and Grimes kind of forwards and Yabu. But Jared Butler's like the only guard off the bench, really. I mean, Grimes is a guard, but he's kind of a wing guard. Butler's definitely going to – if Maxey somehow got in foul trouble or something too, Butler could spike even more.
The problem is, though, is that they'll use like Paul George sometimes to bring it up when Maxey's not on the floor. They'll use other guys to like bring it up. So I don't know. It's positionless basketball in the NBA. Like, I get what you're saying though. Like, if he can't play with Maxey, like,
guard's the one spot that's not positionless though, in my opinion. Like, you still need a guy that can create. Who's going to create besides? Well, again, it's Embiid.
Embiid, exactly.
But Maxey plays 40 minutes. Like, that's one of the reasons I like to play Maxey because he's always playing 40. I like the call. I like him. I just wish we could find some minutes for him.
Yeah, I agree. It's a
short slate and he's 3K. So even say he gets 12 fantasy points, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't kill you tonight.
And maybe he's a guy, Tony, where you play him with Embiid and you hope for a blowout. You just play Embiid and him, or you play
a blowout would definitely be good for him.
You know what I'm saying though? You get like this. You hit the script somehow where you hit it right, and Philly does blow this team out, and you play him and Embiid. And you fade Maxey because if it's a blowout guard spot, so that might be a better way to do it. But the Toronto side, the only guys I really like I think these guys are going to get ownership too because of all these injuries. And like, I like Quickly because he's 6'1". It sucks that he's only point guard eligible, but the minutes are at least up. So at least, if he's playing 30 plus minutes, which I think he will, 6,100, he can easily pay it off. But like, Grady Dick just never does it. Mogba's 4,900 against Embiid. I'm not playing him at 4,900 against Embiid. I refuse.
Or if Embiid's out, you're still not playing him.
I'm probably not playing him if Embiid's out. So yeah, Akbaji I think might get a little ownership too, Tony. He played like 30 something minutes last game.
He's the one that's horrible.
Yeah. I don't like him like at all. Like, if he's going to get ownership, I'm with you. I'm gonna be probably off of him. So really, the only guys I like are like Quickly, Barnes, and I hate that Chris Boucher's 4,100. I think he's the only one that has upside. I just know they hate him. So I hate playing him.
He's one of the guys I just can't do. I hate these guys that are capped at 18 minutes. Like, it drives me nuts. It's so
these
tilting.
are probably bad play. It's a short slate. On a bigger slate, I get it. Like, you kind of have to like look past these guys. On a short slate, it makes it harder, especially when we say we're not playing Akbaji and Grady Dick and Mogba and all these other guys. I hate
Toronto. I like Jamal Sheed, though. I don't like him tonight, but I like him.
I like Jamal Sheed too, but I don't like him tonight because Quickly's there. Quickly screws it all up. So, yep. That's game
about
one.
Sheed, though, now that I said it and actually looked at it, he is a like guy that I could see, because he's a defender. Like, he's a good defender. I could see them using him more on Maxey than usual. Getting a little
that's why
extra
that's why they got rid of Davion Mitchell, because Sheed's like a better Davion Mitchell.
Yeah.
They're like the exact same player. Sheed's just better. So they don't need both of them.
I mean, Davion Mitchell is truly just a defender. Sheed at least has a little skill on offense.
That's what I'm saying, though. They're like the exact same player, but Sheed's better. So, like, why wouldn't you take if it's the same guy, but one guy's just a little better, why aren't you just keeping him?
And you can't keep them both, because you can't have two non-defenders or non-offensive guys out there.
Exactly. So, all right, that's game one. We are an hour in, and we're through one game. So that's always a good sign there, Tony. We're hitting our quota right now for time on this show. Almost an hour in, and one game down. And it's perfect timing, though, because New York Knicks and Pacers, there were two injuries in this game that we were waiting on. OG Anunoby and Miles Turner. Guess what, Tony? We got injury news. Miles Turner is out for this game. He's out through the All-Star break. So we already have that news, and we can break it down with that news that Miles Turner's out. Thomas Bryant most likely will start. Chat's talking about Pascal Siakam. That's right, BG3. You know it. Normal show for JSU. You know how we roll when JSU's on the show. We go long. But what's that do for you, Tony, with Miles Turner being out? Obviously, that's big news for the Pacers and for this slate, because we don't really have much injury news right now.
It's kind of annoying, too, because, I mean, Thomas Bryant was like 3K for last week, most of the week, and I played him a few times. He's 5K now. I was actually surprised when I saw the price. I thought it was going to say – I didn't think it'd be 3K, but
dude,
you know how it is.
Mogba. It's like Mogba. When I saw 4,900, I was like –
right.
I was like, what the hell?
When you go in and like look, you're always like in your head, like thinking what the price, at least this is how I do it. I'm like thinking what the price should be in my head. And then I look and I was expecting like 4,200 or something. And it said 5K. And I was like, oh my God, I wanted to play him too. So, what are they saying? Oh yeah. I thought they were saying it was 4K on FanDuel, but that was something else.
Nope.
But I still kind of like him in this spot against a guy like Cat, who is more perimeter based. Even though he's 5K, I still feel like it's a pretty good matchup for him. Not a ton of meat on the bone, though. They just don't have bigs, though, besides him. I mean, Jarris Walker's more of a forward. Obi's a forward. Who else do they even got as a big? I'm looking at their roster. I don't see any other bigs. So
they've got that.
Yeah, I like Pascal. That's probably why people like Pascal too, a big.
Yeah.
But honestly, it does make me like those two. I don't like Pascal very often either. But I mean, they don't have bigs. So I think I do like Pascal and Thomas Bryant in this spot. And they got a ton of wings. I mean, Benny Math, Nemhard is more of a point guard, I guess. McConnell's more of a point guard.
I hate their wings.
Huh?
I hate their wings.
I mean, I just hate how there's so many of them too. And
yeah.
I like Pascal and Thomas Bryant for sure. And I don't usually like Pascal, but I do like this spot for him. And then I love Cat on the Knicks side because of the same reasons I just said for the other way. I mean, there's just no way. I'm not a huge Cat fan, but if he can't crush in this matchup, I don't know how he could have a better matchup. I mean, it's just literally perfect. And he's had some monster games this year too. So I like him. I've liked Precious most of the year. what I call him the one day when man gone a Chewy, a Precious
A Chewy. Yeah, a Chewy.
I still like him. It's just the price tag gives me a sticker shock every time I see it at 5,600. It just feels crazy to me. But I do kind of like him too. So it's a weird game where I like the bigs more than the guards for maybe the first time ever in a game like this. I just do though, and you can always play the other Knicks guys too. It's a short slate. You got just all the security in the world with. Did OG get officially ruled out yet?
I don't think it's official yet. He's been out for a few games now, but
you gotta think he sits going to the All-Star break. That's just my opinion. Maybe he goes in, but in my opinion, I think he's had an injury history.
And we know anyways, like if he's in, you know who that affects. Like it affects Precious. Like Precious, you don't even think about Precious anymore. He's out.
You don't even think about it at 5,600.
Yeah.
So as long as it's like that, and I think even though I don't love Bridges, like he's a safe 4-game play. I always like the Knicks though. I don't need to like whoever's in for the Knicks. I'm always gonna like them. Cat's my favorite though.
It's funny. So your favorite's Cat. I love Jalen Brunson on this slate. I think Jalen Brunson absolutely smashes this matchup. And I think Josh Hart, this is like a perfect Josh Hart matchup too. Like Indiana, this is a perfect style matchup for someone like Josh Hart. Both those guys, I'm probably going to play here. I like the Knicks. I think, especially if we get even if OG's in, but like if OG's out, like I definitely like this team. You can play Precious, like you said. Bridge is more of a play. Like if I get to my last spot and he just kind of fits, and there's no one else I like around him, I'm fine with playing him. But he's not a guy I'm like, he's not a guy I'm like, I need to get Bridges in my lineup. He's just like that type of guy where if I get him, I get him. But like Hart and Brunson, I definitely like. I do think people are going to like Cat. I don't know. I mean, I think these guys will get ownership, but Josh Hart's price tag will probably keep his ownership somewhat in check. And I think Jalen Brunson's just too cheap. Like this is a spot where I think he could give you like 50, and he's 8,400. So yeah, I'm big into the Knicks guys here. I especially like those two, and the Pacers guys. It would probably be Siakam would be my number one. I'm not playing Thomas Bryant at 5K. I think it was Max who said the Obi Toppin revenge spot. I could see him doing okay at 4,400, but the minutes suck with him too. Like, and he's 4,100. Like the minutes for when I complain about minutes is when it's not like a 3K or 3,200 guy. Like for really cheap, I can deal with someone getting questionable minutes or whatever. But when you start spending up, that's what's annoying. But maybe Toppin could find some extra minutes if foul trouble or something like that. But yeah, I don't like Nemhard. I don't really love Benny Math. It's just a lot of bodies here. Like they still have Neesmith, Ben Shepherd. Just not great. Neesmith is 3,600. I hate his game. He's not like super aggressive. Not really a big fan of him, but yeah, that's really it. It's more the Knicks plays for me. I could play Achua too, as long as OG's out. Like I could play him. I think it's a good style for him too. I think he could have a good matchup. So yeah, that's it with Knicks and Pacers here. Tony, if you had to out of these first two games, if you had to pick between Cat and Embiid, who you taking? Because you like
Cat.
both of them.
Cat's my favorite play for sure. I love Cat. Cat's gonna go. I mean, he has literally no one that they can put on him.
All right, there we go. Last two games here. First game, Detroit and Chicago. This game's in Chicago. Actually, Tony, these teams play back to back. They play tonight and tomorrow. Both games in Chicago.
I actually like when teams do that. Denver did it earlier this year too with somebody.
I don't know why. If you play a team more than twice in a year, I don't know why you just don't do that every time. And
it makes the schedule so much easier on them. And I get it. It probably isn't great for tickets, but just because it's back-to-back nights and if it's two crappy teams or something, it might not work as good. But say it was like good teams, people will go back-to-back nights and see it.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
probably
it though,
why
as
they
far
don't
as
like
for the
it.
players. Like it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
And the
even for
coaches
us,
for
we're
that
not
matter, because your
players, and
game plan is going to be the same.
when I read it, I was like, "What the hell?" And then I thought about it, and I was like, "Oh, that kind of makes sense for them. Like for them, why would you
Yeah.
want to travel back and forth like that? That sucks."
And a lot of times they'll do it too, where they like flip cities the next night too, and it's like,
Yeah.
I get it, but why? Just
But that's
play
a
it
lot
back.
of travel too, right? That's a lot. Just to
And they're
flip it,
both
just to
traveling, both sides. I
yeah,
mean, I think even the players would be like, no, let's just stay in Chicago tonight and we'll
yeah.
play again here tomorrow.
I agree. I think all the players are probably for it, at that point. But I mean, Cade's been awesome, coming off a triple double, good spot against Chicago. He's already played this team twice. He's done really well against this team. I know the last time these guys played, I remember because I watched the game, and Vucevic crushed. I think he had like close to either he had a triple double or he had very close to a triple double. Had a massive game. It was on one of those Sunday slates, so I doubt you played it, Tony. You might have played it because I think it was the Sunday with no football.
I don't
2
think
weeks
I've played
ago.
a Sunday slate all year. I'll be honest.
Yeah, so it's a good game environment though. Durant crushed, Vucevic crushed. A lot of these guys had big games. So, what are you doing here? I know Lonzo Ball out. That's really the only injury news right now. What are you looking at?
Yeah, Detroit's been nice, and this matchup's good. Cade, I mean, he has to be one of the better plays, obviously, of the slate. Love playing guys like him against the Bulls, up in pace, everything. Even Lonzo being out helps a little. And Lonzo's a pretty smart defender where he puts himself in the right spots. Not saying he's some clamps or anything, but I think he's at least a smart defender, knows where to position himself and stuff.
For the Bulls, he's clamps.
Yeah, he's the clamps for the Bulls. They don't have a whole lot of resistance. So, I mean, I love Cade. Durant, I have bad mojo with him, but I feel like his price is cheap too for this spot. And he's definitely got 40, 50 point upside for that price. So I like him. And these Thompson brothers, I just love these guys. I mean, they're just good. I know he's not been as good as Amen, but look at his last. I mean, oh, wow. I shouldn't have pulled him up because now I like him even more. 5 straight games, 27 or more, 3 straight in the 30s. These guys are only going to get better. What?
You talking about Oscar?
Yeah, like they're only going to get better. I mean, these guys are just so talented and so athletic. They're built for the NBA. So his price tag's another one that just looks a little sticky to me, but it's a short slate, and I know he's got upside against the Bulls. So I think he's a pretty good play in this game, and he is going to get ownership too. I didn't realize that he was going to get a little ownership because he's been playing good. So, I mean, you add bums. I mean, why does Detroit add a guy like Schroeder? Beasley, I don't love at this price. Hardaway, I'm never going to like. Isaiah Stewart, every time I see him at 3,400, it catches my eye just because Durant gets in foul trouble here and there. Stewart is just cheap at that. Like on a short slate, I could see playing Isaiah Stewart because Durant always has issues and stuff. So I think Stewart is a somewhat sneaky play as a cheap guy. And then the Bulls, I know I keep talking about this Buzelis dude, but man, I like this guy a lot. I like his game, and he popped off a few times last week for me. And I mean, look at him. He's solid. He's getting high 20s, low 30s minutes now. He's 4,800. I like this guy a lot in this matchup. I think he's another guy. I like targeting these guys, and it's one reason I consider myself always better the later the year goes, because I can start picking up on some things and go with it into the playoffs. And that's where we always at Run Pure have had great success in the playoffs. But Buzelis is just better than Patrick Williams. He's better than frickin' Jalen Smith and these other big, not that that's the same position, but better than these guys. They like to play their guards. They like to play Vooch. I think Buzelis just keeps popping off, and I love his upside. So I'm going to be on him tonight. And I don't love the guards just because there's just too much in their prices. So it's Vooch, Buzelis for me from that side, and then Cade, Osser, Isaiah Stewart from Detroit.
Yeah. So the thing with Osser is the more I watch him, the more I just think he's the point guard. He might not have as good as skills as his brother in that area yet, but he's better. He's better at the position of point guard, get the ball and push the ball up the floor and attack, as opposed to a guy who's playing with the guard where then he's on a wing. I think they just it sucks because I think his like best pairings is going to be whenever Cade's not playing and he can play the point guard when he's on the floor. You know what I mean? So I think that's the one thing that sucks for him. If he could play on a team where he was the actual point guard, kind of like how Amen's getting a chance with no Van Fleet and stuff, like that's optimal for someone like him who can't really shoot very good, who is not relegated to the corner. You know what I mean? Like you don't want that guy just in the corner. You want that guy with the ball, getting it up the floor, pushing the pace, attacking, and then caving the defense for 3-point shooters like Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr. That's why they're on the floor, right? They're on the floor to space the floor so that guys like Oscar can attack. So, yeah, I get it, though. He's not a bad play, especially on this slate. I think he's fine. Buzelis, I think he's slowly starting to steal Pat Williams' run, Tony. I think they're slowly starting to give some minutes to him, maybe over Pat Williams. They need to. Teams like the Bulls, I never understand why they don't like. I think that's why bad teams, honestly, too, like they don't ever they take forever to improve because they don't let these young guys like learn from being out there. They like don't give them enough run earlier. They pull them whenever they make a mistake. It's like, no, like let them make a mistake. Let them, play a little bit and get their feet wet. I think they're finally doing that though with Buzella. So I like the take on him. Sucks that he's almost 5K, but I don't think he's a terrible play. And I don't mind the guards too, just because like I think that Josh Giddey still has upside, even though like low 30s minutes. I think he can get you 40 fantasy points. We've seen him do it. It's the same thing with like Kobe White. Yeah, he's just a straight scorer, but he's a bucket, man. Like on a short slate, like a mid-tier build, I could see myself playing multiple Bulls guards. So, yeah, I think I like the guards a little bit more than you. Only thing that sucks is I don't know the rotations with like Trey Jones and Kevin Huerter being in for this game. So I don't know like kind of what their role is going to be. I could see one of them actually doing good too if they like got decent run, Tony. I just like, are they going to get Lonzo? Is one of them going to get Lonzo Ball's like 22 minutes? Do we think?
I don't think. I mean,
yeah.
I think they'll get some, but I don't know.
Because
Just looking at their
the only
rotation.
reason why I said it was because like if one of them did get all of his run or something like that, it would probably be a good play. It's just,
I think it would be Trey for sure if it was.
Yeah.
Obviously they're similar to what they want to do.
It's just so hard because they got so many guards. Even with like Lonzo out, they just have so many guards. But and I like Vooch. Vooch is
one
my
more
favorite
guy too. When you were going through that, I didn't realize it because I always like to double check. This Jalen Smith has been like crazy good in his minutes, 3,700. But he's been like really good for that price point.
Yeah, I'm playing Vooch. Vooch is gonna smash this spot again. Is the big Vooch spot right there? But I get it. If he gets
you like Vooch, you should like Jalen Smith.
Why? In a Vooch spot, I'd rather Jalen Smith only play like the 13 to 15 minutes as opposed to like 19 in a blowout. Like, I think you don't think they correlate with the minutes? Like, they kind of negatively correlate, in my opinion.
Vooch just seems capped to me, man. I feel like it's pretty set where Vooch plays low 30s and Jalen plays 18 or something.
I think Vooch could play like 35. You don't think so?
Yeah, he can get made. It could be some. We're nitpicking 1 or 2 minutes here or there, but the point is we like the same position. I like Vooch too. I'm just saying you could even set a rule like I want one of those two guys or something like.
Well, I would, exactly.
Jalen Smith 3,700, and that's without Vooch even getting in foul trouble or something. I don't know. I like both of them though. I wouldn't play them together, though. I do agree kind of with that part.
OG game time decision. Tony, you know what? I was just scrolling across my timeline earlier. You know a stat that I saw today that I thought was crazy, and I thought of you instantly? So last year, De'Aaron Fox and SGA led the league with 150 steals. Dyson Daniels, to this point in the season, guess how many steals he has?
How many did they have last year?
150 for the year.
On the year, I bet he's got 120.
141.
Yeah. I mean, he gets a lot of steals.
And it's not the All-Star break. He's going to get at least another. I don't know if he's a back-to-back. I don't know if they play on Thursday. He's going to get at least one more game, though. Maybe two. I'm not sure. He could. I mean,
they show those like graphs of all the defensive metrics. He's like up there with Wemby. It's him and Wemby for different reasons.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's crazy.
He's just a beast on defense. The funny thing is, Jokic is up there high in steals, isn't he? Jokic is like third or fourth in the league in steals.
I could see that because he always gets his big hands in passing lanes and stuff.
He just tips them and then gets it.
Jokic, guys like Jokic, they just have like they have like one of those like senses for the where the ball is going to land and where the ball's going. And they just do a really good job.
Like you said, he puts his big mitt out there and it just sticks to his mitt.
Yeah. All right. Last game here on the slate: Memphis and Phoenix. Not a ton with the injuries and stuff. Beal out. And I think Micic is still questionable, but that's really it. Grayson Allen's probable. Kevin Durant's back for the team. Phoenix. Two teams, Tony, that honestly I don't really love playing when I like have a chance to not play them. They're the one late game though. It is 10 o'clock. Honestly, I think these are two of the teams on like main slates I just never really play unless guys are out. I will say I did get a chance to play our boy Bull last game. He smashed, put up like 30-something for us at 3K in a spot last game with no Kevin Durant. And I forget who else they missing Grayson Allen and maybe someone else, but he absolutely smashed. He's 4,300 now. Man, I don't love a ton, but like some of these guys just have to be in play just because it is a 4-game slate, and you're probably not fading this whole game. But do you see anyone that just sticks out to you as like an amazing play?
I mean, you said it exactly how I feel. And one of the things we've always done on short slates is not be scared to just fade spots. And I mean, you got it 2 hours after the other game, and like genuinely, people that have followed my cores all year, I don't think I've ever played these teams on full slates. I mean, Memphis plays 11 guys. I'm looking at their roster right now. And granted, this is why I'm not the best 150 player. I'll admit it.
It's Golden State-esque. It's bad.
And I'm looking at the prices, and I just don't see. Don't get me wrong. Guys have upside. And this is, again, why I'm not the best 150 player, because some of these guys, I'm sure one or two of these guys will end up in the optimal. I mean, Jaren Jackson can score a bunch at times. Ja has upside. Bane can have upside. Even some of these mid-rangers, Edie, if he gets more runs, Santi, cheaper guys. They have 11 guys, though, that get minutes. In Phoenix, I hate even more. I mean, Durant and Booker are in the 9Ks. Tyus Jones is capped upside-wise. I mean, I'm fading it. So,
I see two guys.
Nuts.
I see two guys that are in play for me. They're both cheap. Santi Aldama and Bol. Santi Aldama and Bol.
4,300 though.
But he does have upside. Like he's got, dude. I watched him. It's amazing how good this dude is and how much he must not care about basketball.
I mean,
like literally
about this 1,000 times. All he does is smoke weed.
I know. That's what I said, though. I said it's amazing how much this dude must not care about basketball. Even
you can't
though
pay
he's so
4,300 for Bol.
I'm looking at this slate and I'm like, the value sucks. It's so bad.
And they just let him carve up Denver the other night too, but it was a blowout, wasn't it?
No, he like won minutes because he was playing well. Yes, they did get like kind of blown out a little bit.
I don't
but
think Jokic played the fourth again. He never played.
No, but Jamal was in there, Christian Brown. Like they just didn't bring back Luka. They ran their same like starters up to like that 6 or 5 minute mark, and then they took them out at like the 5 minute mark, I think. Because I watched the whole game. I remember it. Like he won minutes. Like he wasn't gonna.
Bol doesn't get impacted from Richards though. He's not a center. They have to have another center.
They played him at center. That's why he got
over
extra minutes.
Plumlee?
Yes. Plumlee only got 15 minutes. Nick Richards, I'm telling you. So they played him center minutes.
I wouldn't roster Bol with Mangone's Pecker. What's the correlation with that?
Mango's Pecker ain't getting you much. I'll tell you that much.
How did that come up, though? He pulled that out of the WKJ is one of my favorite commenters. He
pulled that out of a what? A hat? What did you say? You
I'm
pulled
just
that
saying
out
it
of
was a
small
random
hat.
time to come out of off the top rope with Mangone's Pecker.
Just saying. Jeez. Is Bol affected by KD? He might be a little.
You can't
affected
play
by
Bol.
KD.
I'm standing by my statement. We've agreed on a lot. You can't play Bol.
I'm just looking at this team. Who else can I play?
Not Bol. They got too many guys.
They need to play Bol center minutes. They have to play Bol center minutes. That's what I'm
we've
calling.
always liked Bol. But I mean, he's not 3,300.
I know.
43 freaking 100.
All right, hold on. I got to roll through this slate here real quick. Toppin, Grady Dick, Bol, Patrick Williams, Jacoby Walters, TJ McConnell, Justin Edwards, Luke Kennard, Chris Boucher, Miles McBride, Abaji. Those are like 4K to 4,300. Did I read? And do you like anyone that I just read? Like anybody?
No.
That's my point.
I like Jalen Smith for 3,700 though.
Oh God, you love Jalen Smith. You like Isaiah Stewart too. I forgot about him.
I mean, they're both cheaper though. Again, I always talk the difference between 4,300 and 3,400 is a lot to me.
Jalen Smith is 3,700.
I know, but Isaiah's 34, and you don't need to go there anyways because you don't need. I don't need
any savings. Do you not want to play?
Not if you got to play Bol, you don't. Falik gonna core Rocky Balboa? Oh, Bol.
Bol.
Falik is not playing Bol.
I was gonna say if Falik cores Bol, I'm definitely jamming Bol. Falik cores him just to own Tony.
Smith's got 20+ fantasy points, like 7 out of 8 games, and he's in the 3K.
Yeah, and he's never cracked 30.
You don't need it. You just talked about the value. You don't need upside from everybody.
I need upside to win tournaments, Tony. I need upside at every one of my positions for to win the tournaments. That's it. I don't know. Kevin Durant 30K. He needs 26 points. Is that real?
Probably. He's played 30 years like LeBron. I'm sure it's true. I don't know.
Yeah, he probably gets it then tonight. He probably does get it.
Mangone's on my side. Mangone, let's stand united.
Mangone and his small pecker coming after Bol.
That was WKJ Mangone that called you out. Who added the small part? JSU added the small part. He didn't say small.
Listen,
JSU added that Mangone.
He was paraphrasing for sure, but I'm just saying.
You added the small part. That was just...
It wasn't me. What's that song? It wasn't me. Wasn't me, Mangone, I swear. All right. And nothing else here. You're not playing Ja, I assume. You're not going to go there.
I'm not playing this game, but that's how I build. I'm ignoring it.
It definitely feels like the worst game on the slate. Just
by a lot to me, too. Those other games, I liked a lot of plays that we talked about. This game, I just don't even – I'd have to, force it. I would have to set a rule or something that says, give me 2 guys from this game and just see who it gives me.
And to be fair, that's one way to be different because I think a lot of people on these small slates, especially the last game, they want 1 from the last game or 2. They need it almost because nothing worse than when you have no other players, even if you're at the top and you can't go up. So like someone passes you, you're done. So in the back of their minds, this is something that people think about. So if you make this slate just 3 games, you're going to instantly be a little different when you build. Just if you take out a game. And the late game is a good one to do on short slates because everyone wants a piece of it. Like everyone, no matter what in the back, even if it's just a bad player, even if it is just bull, just anybody, so you have somebody.
That's the Uncle T move for sure, too. He refuses to set any team without a late guy.
You want to know what's funny? When I send my when I finish my lineup and I send my dad like a screenshot of my team so he can follow the players. He always gets mad when I don't have one guy from the late game. He always gets mad at me. I'm like, Dad, what do you want? Like I made the best lineup I could. I don't know what you want from me. He's like, yeah, but you got no one late. I was like, sorry, no one late to root on. All right. Plays of the day, Tony. By the way, hit the like button on the video here, almost an hour and a half for some NBA talk. Hit that thumbs up. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place for some NBA hoops. Tomorrow, too, DraftKings got the big Millie tournament, too, 2,500. They've got a ton of satellites on DraftKings, too, right now, all different types of price points as well. So if you're looking to try and get a ticket, we call it the K-Phallic strategy right there. If you're looking to try and steal a ticket, get in those satellites, check them out. It's a $2,500 entry into a Millie, and they've got price ranges from like $29, Tony, to like
all across
300. Yeah. So check it out on DraftKings if that interests you trying to get into a big tournament there. So I'm going to be dabbling in a few myself. I'm sure you'll see Big T in a couple. K-Phallic.
One. I'm only in one. One and done.
That's fine. One's enough.
I did put 20 in the. I put 20 in the main one though. I haven't played 20 all year because everything sold out on me. So I only got the one main one and then the 20.
4.5 point, 245 total, no interest.
I don't look at totals for NBA. I might be in the rare breed for that, but I just look at the matchups. And like Philadelphia is a lot less total, but I like the matchup better. I like the other 3 matchups better. I don't care about totals in the NBA.
I also look at the teams, and I hate teams where you're playing 12 guys. Yeah. Like I hate those teams. Those are the worst teams in fantasy when you have to literally deal with that many guys in a rotation. It sucks. And on top of it, all these teams, remember this, all these teams have to play tomorrow. A team like Memphis, who is one of those teams that has definitely been kind of holding the players back minutes-wise a little bit. I'm just saying, like a back-to-back, I'd be a little cautious. That's all I'm going to say. But who knows? Maybe Ja does crush. If I were to pay up for someone, it would probably be Ja. If you made me pick someone, but I don't love it. I'm with Tony too. I don't really look at the totals as much as maybe some other people do, but either way, I like Memphis to win. I can tell you that. Definitely. I hate Phoenix. They're one of those teams I just always like to bet against, but all right. No, not getting an all-star game. What's this mean? I don't even know what this means. I don't know. Beanair said not getting an all-star game, ? I don't even know what that means. So, all right.
About Ja right there. You got to read Beanair. I got your back. JSU wasn't reading what you were writing. It's time
he said it above it. He said it above it, though. I didn't see it.
You got to read all of your boys' messages, or else he's come to my side, Beanair.
Why didn't you just write it in one full message?
So he's making fun of you now, Beanair.
I'm just saying, I didn't see it. He says, so Ja's going to try and skull fuck? I didn't see that part. I didn't see it.
Why would he be in the All-Star game anyways?
Yeah, he barely plays.
And
he's like
people.
And he shoots people. Listen, we got some bad people. We got Miles Bridges in the NBA still. We got Kevin Porter. I mean, come on. There's some pretty bad. And then you got Ja. I mean, yeah.
Not don't bad, even just disappointed, he said.
All All right. Play of the day here, Tony. I think I know who you're going with, but just say his name for the people.
I love when you say you know who I'm going with, and I don't know.
I know it.
I'm not going with Jalen Smith for my play of the day.
No, I don't. I didn't think you were going to go with him.
Yeah, I didn't know who you thought, but I like him for a value, but he's not my play of the day.
I know.
So I'll give 2 because I like the people. So stud, Cat for sure. I'm surprised at his ownership though. Like he's not that high owned. He's not
right,
that
Corey.
high owned though. Cat. So Cat's my stud, and Buzelis is my like value guy.
I knew you were going to
be about 20% owned, I think, but it's a 4-game slate.
I knew you were going to say Cat. I just knew you were going to go there with Cat.
I'm surprised at his ownership. Like, in all seriousness, if he comes in 20% owned, I think he's like incredible of a play.
Who, Cat?
I just don't understand how he's that low owned. It's crazy to me.
Well, I think if Embiid's in, he's going to steal. Like if Embiid's
in, they said he's in.
Okay, so yeah, like that makes sense to me because I think Embiid's going to take.
People are going to play Embiid over Karl Anthony Towns in this spot?
No, I think so. Yeah. You don't think so?
That's a gift.
You really don't think? I think people will. These are the spots Embiid loves. Embiid loves to shit on these bad teams. I knew he was going to play. He can't resist to play Toronto with Jonathan Mogba and Chris Boucher and Orlando Robinson. Are you kidding me? He's going to probably drop 50 and a triple-double or something like that. Like, it's crazy. I get it. Joel, I know what you're doing here. You're gonna injury management rest right after this game's over. You're going to play 35 minutes. You're going to put up a triple-double, and then instantly we're going to get the he's out for injury management tomorrow tag from Joel Embiid. So I can already see it. I'll be waiting for it. But my guy on this slate, I think he's going to smash against Nikola Vucevic. I think he's going to crush in this matchup, 7,800. I really like that price tag. And then Tony gave 2. I mean, I'm not going to go super cheap, but I think the Vucevic combo center play with Jalen Duran is the winner. Jalen Duran's been awesome, and he's still 6,600, and he's just been putting up a ton of monster games. Still 41, 43 his last 2 games, put up 46 the last time these two teams played in only 30 minutes, by the way. So it's not like he's not even one of those guys that's getting 35 minutes and he's putting up these type of numbers. So yeah, he can get in foul trouble and he can, have those issues and stuff like that. But if he doesn't get in foul trouble and he gets his normal 30, he's going to give you a good fantasy spot in this matchup here. So I like both centers in that game. I don't normally do that where I play like both centers, but on a short slate, I'm totally fine with pulling that one out. So yeah, that's going to do it here. If you guys want the rest, check out Rumpier Sports. We got the core plays, the player pools, me and Big T slate builder will be up about 30 minutes till lock time. Get in the Discord too. If you're not a member, check us out. RPS15 is the promo code for 15% off. For Big T and myself, JSU, we'll catch you guys later. Good luck in your NBA contest. Until tomorrow, we're out of here.